now we are going to start with our first topic, that is cell structure and function. Why I'm starting with this chapter is that because we have studied about it in class 9th and it is something very basic and fundamental in biology. Fine, without it no living organism exists, as you know, isn't it? So let's start. Now the question that if we begin with this topic that comes first is, what is a cell? And all of you have read it is a fundamental, functional and structural unit of life. Now what do we mean by saying fundamental? Fundamental is what? Something very basic. Something very basic. Without which that thing cannot exist. That is your fundamental. Like, if I have to build a building, isn't it? You need what? Bricks. Without that, you cannot form a building, isn't it? So that is a fundamental requirement. Fine. If you have to make a roti, then what is the fundamental requirement for it? You need some kind of flour, isn't it? Fine. So it's a wheat flour or any other flour without which you cannot make your roti. Right? So something that is very basic is called as fundamental. Why it is called fundamental, structural and functional? Because this forms the structure of your body, the cell. If I look at my body, if I look at this finger, now this finger is made up of what? My entire body is made up of various kinds of cells. Okay? And these cells only perform all the functions of your body. Fine? Like, cells gives you energy to do work. Isn't it? Various kinds of substances are being formed by the cells. Various hormones are being formed by your cell. Various activities. Even I'm moving my hand. This is also done by ultimately by cell. Therefore, it is called as what? Fundamental, functional and structural unit of life. And you have read in class 9 about various kinds of cells. We will come to that also later on. Fine. Now let's look at the history from where this term cell has come, how it has come. Okay. Who was the first person to observe cell? So it was your Robert Hooke. Who was that? It was Robert Hooke. When he made that discovery in 1665. What he did, he was doing his PhD, okay, and he has to present something new to his guide. So what he did, he observed cork cells. I hope you know what are cork cells. Bark of the tree, okay. So those cells he observed under a self-designed microscope. Fine. And these cork cells are what kind of cells? I hope you know. They are dead cells. Fine. So he observed them under a microscope, and what did he saw? He saw that he could see a very small honeycomb-like structures. Okay. And if you look at the prisons of at that time, they were there, the rooms were also very small and it was called as what? Cells. That's how the name came. Okay. Then he named it as cells. Fine. And after Robert Hooke, it was Anton von Leeuwenhoek. In which year he did? He observed it in 1674. And Anton van Leeuwenhoek observed a bacterial cell Now you can see your Koch cells are which kinds of cells? They are plant cells. Okay, and your bacterial cells are what? Your animal cells, isn't it? So they are observing, you can see, different kind of cells, right? So Antony Van, and he also designed his microscope himself. At that time, microscope was not available much. Okay, so Antony Van Leeuwenhoek, and with the improvement in microscopes and advent of electron microscopy, people were able to look much deeper into cells. Fine. They observed, and then what happened? There were another two major scientists who gave your cell theory, and they were your M.J. Sheridan, in which year he did? Now see, from 16th to we have come to 18. So much time it takes, okay? And he was a botanist. And there was another scientist, he was Theodore Schwann. And he observed in which year? In 1839. So you can see both of them were quite parallelly working. Okay, and he was what? He was a zoologist. And there is a very interesting story about their discovery. And they were working independently, and after working independently they came to a conclusion that a typical cell, what a cell should have, what are features of a cell it should have, that we can call it a cell. So he said that a typical cell should have these features at least. Okay, it should have a nucleus. This is your plasma membrane. It should have a plasma membrane. It should have cytoplasm, and it should have a nucleus, or you can say it should have a genetic material. So a typical cell should have at least these features. Fine. It should have a plasma membrane, it should have a cytoplasm, and it should have a genetic material. Okay. So, and based on that, together they formulated what your cell theory. So, cell theory was given by M.J. Sheridan and Theodore Schwann, and what the cell theory states that all living organisms are made up of cells and its products. Fine. Second point, what they said, that all living organisms all living organisms functions are done by cell and its products. So structurally saying that they are made up of cells, living organisms, and functionally everything is done by cells. And the third point was added by another scientist. It was Rudolf Virchow. He was Rudolf Virchow, and in which year he came? He came in 1855. So this third point was added to the cell theory by Rudolf Virchow, and what did he say? He said that cells arise from pre-existing cells. Fine. So what did he say? Ki cells cannot be created from non-living components. Okay. He said that cells will come from pre-existing cells that which exist. From there only cells can come. So you have read about cell division in class 9th, I hope. So this is something very introductory part of it. Fine. Now we can see that